Howdy!
Howdy, 23 Skidoo. What's going on?
Okay, you're not that old, man. I mean, you're an old man, but you're not that old, man.
23 Skidoo is still cool, isn't it? Don't the
Not
kids-
since about 1930, my friend.
Kids, chime in. All the kids listening out there, tell me if you use the term 23 Skidoo.
Hi, I'm Race. I'm just going to shut him up. Hi, I'm Race.
I'm Reed, and we are
Mixtapes.
Apes. And this is You Should Know
this song. We did that pretty good.
I think so. Yeah. Okay. We can stop now.
And we want to start everything off propers here by thanking anybody and everybody out there who's taking just a few minutes of your attention to listen, to tune in, to check it out, to subscribe, to like, to comment, all that stuff. All of you are Mixtapes too, and we're so proud of you. We're ever so proud to have you along.
Yes, and some of you actually have shirts and stickers and stuff that say that you're Mixtapes.
Right.
And those of you that don't, I'm sorry.
Right. Sorry for the state of your life.
Anyway, we're back. Another gorgeous day here in the middle of the country. We are again outside enjoying the weather. A little windy. You might hear some sounds on there. We'll try to edit that out.
And the locusts are back. It's not the
cicada apocalypse.
Cicada apocalypse or cicada palooza event, but it's the I guess this is the standard Missouri.
These are the regular Joe locusts.
Right. On their own offset, whether it's 7 or 13 years or whatever it is. So you'll hear that in the background and things whirring and buzzing and the world going on, and that's why we're out here.
Yeah,
because we want to be part of the world.
Absolutely.
And we're getting our vitamin D.
We keep trying to be part of the world, and it just doesn't want anything to do with it.
Just doesn't want us to be part of it.
So we've got a few things to talk about. We've got 3 segments we're going to try to get into this episode. We want to do some nest keeping first.
Yeah.
But the segments, just for your edification, or so that you can become Ed, we're going to do Ask and Ye Shall Deceive.
Right.
We're going to follow that with Tune That Name, or something that we haven't named it better yet. And Starting Lines. Those are 3 of our segments that we're going to do.
Tune That Name. It's like name that tune just in verse.
I understand.
I mean, you get it.
I do get it. I still don't like it.
It's really a sad state of my life when I have to defend and explain my stupid ideas. But it's pretty prevalent in the course of my life.
So we're going to jump ahead to the nest
keeping portion of our showgram program. And for everybody's thrills and chills, in a recent episode,
I talked about going to Bourbon and Beyond, a festival in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah. When are you going? When is that again?
I believe it's in September. I want to say like the 19th.
Yeah,
I have a calendar for that because I won't remember.
Right.
So,
that's why you have a calendar.
And I mentioned that Patty Smith with a Y is going to be there. And I inadvertently said, or not inadvertently, in error said, that I thought she'd been a member of
the Runaways.
The Runaways. And I was wrong about that, but most of you probably already know. She was, at one point, the lead singer of Scandal.
Yes.
And I had a good friend in high school, or just after high school, that
who was involved in a scandal, and it was ugly. And
who just that song, The Warrior, that she did, he just thought that, like, he had a huge crush on her just because of that song. And the way, like, that the whole video, how she sang it and how demonstrative she was, and
yeah,
it probably isn't relevant to anything, but I do remember it specifically.
Well, I kind of enjoyed Scandal. I mean, they were, pop rock band. And they had some cool songs, I think. In the time, they were, they fit right on in. They were kind of alternative pop rock, but more pop rock, in my opinion.
I'm with you.
And they were on the airplay and rotations. The part of the conversation that I started to get confused by wasn't Patti Smith, who I thought was from the Runaways, and I don't know whether or not she is. I didn't pursue it, but the Patti Smith who made Because the Night.
No, she had nothing to do with any of that.
Right.
She was much more Lou Reed.
Right. That
side of the music.
Sort of iconic.
And Springsteen. She did a bunch of work with Springsteen, too.
Yeah.
I don't know that they did. I don't know if they did anything recorded together, but I know they wrote some stuff together. And
right. That was the Patti Smith that came to mind for me when all that was going on.
And they are completely different looking people. Like if you saw them side by side, you would...
You wouldn't mistake them for one
exactly.
another.
All right.
That Patti Smith, however, from Scandal, while I was checking that out, it turns out is on tour right now with a new album out.
Really?
Yeah,
Good for her.
Solo album for her. So
Cool.
kudos to that Patti Smith.
She has a pretty cool voice.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And good luck to her. So what's next?
I had mentioned that Tommy Prine is going to be at that Bourbon and Beyond.
Yes.
And
yes.
I had questioned at the time, I wonder if he's related to John Prine, or apparently it's his youngest son.
Yeah, nice. Have you taken a minute to listen
I have
to
not.
material?
I have not, no.
Well, you better before you go. Is he on your night's show roster?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty, there's just so many great bands there. And I've been telling everybody, how I do. And it's really, I'm really looking forward to it. There's going to be so many cool bands.
Yeah. It's an immense event.
Yeah, the main focus of the bands that I want to see is, the main band that I want to see is Black Pumas. They're so amazing, and their live show has got to be great.
Yeah. I hope the best for you there.
Thank you.
But there are certainly plenty of other acts on the nights you're going alone.
I mean, there's
that
30
I'd
acts
just-
each, give or take 30 acts each night.
I just love to go see it. All right, so the next thing relates to the first episode we did with a guest.
Our friend of the show, Wayne,
Yes,
came by to
Wayne of Apes. I think I have to say.
edify us on, and there's edify again. For some reason that's in my head, to help us get smarter about the metal side of rock and roll. He is our resident metal expert, and pretty much just a music head. He's an Apes through and through, actually.
Right.
He and I, when we spend time together, it's all the same stuff that you and I do, just sitting around talking about, hey, I just saw this video, and by the way...
Right, and that band. Remember that guy from that band? Wayne's a musician, too, right?
He's a guitarist, yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
As a matter of fact, he's got a bunch of stuff on SoundCloud. The name of the band that he publishes under is Architects of Umbra, UMBRA. There's 15 or 20 songs on there. Go check it out if you're interested. It's very, very cool stuff, and he does all of it himself.
It's all his original music's all
Yep.
country and western, though, right?
No, not so much.
Just kidding, Wayne. Just kidding, Wayne.
Not so much. Anyway, he was sharing that in seeing Iron Maiden.
Yeah. He told this story.
He told a story that they always, the music that's playing between the acts, the recorded music that's playing between the acts, is that you always know when Iron Maiden's about to come on, because they play a UFO tune almost immediately before they come out.
Right.
And he said that it was Too Hot to Handle.
Yeah, we were on the subject of that. I think I did a
Challenge.
and
relative
that was
to-
the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of Wayne's friends, one of our mutual friends, but one of Wayne's friends, reached out to him and said, "Hey, Bonehead, you got it wrong. It's not Too Hot to Handle. It's Doctor Doctor." And Wayne's like, "No, did that thing that we both do. No, I know what I'm talking about." And then he looked it up and he's immediately like, "Oh, yeah, I was an idiot."
I'm certain I remember this clearly.
So anyway, Wayne was not here to do his own correction. We generally do our own corrections.
Right.
But he asked me to step in on his behalf and apologize and mea culpa and all that stuff.
Yeah. He was. We got to give him 50% credit. It was UFO.
Yes,
I mean, he got that part right. So.
And not only our first guest, but we had a really good time with that one.
Yeah, that was really.
And I've
good.
heard several different people say that they really enjoyed that. We should get someone else to make us shut up more often.
And in fact, we've got crowds waiting at the gate, and we're just, wagging them off right now because we're just not willing to give up the limelight. Not every episode. Come on, people. Okay, well, that is, I think, the full basket of nest keeping,
I believe
as
so.
it were, and now the nest is kept, so we can
Move right
move
along.
forward with actual
Content.
challenge content. You got anything else before we leave that?
No, not at this time. I'm
Okay.
going to reserve my options for later.
Okay. Reserved options, man.
Very, very briefly. Yes, I do have something. You were on vacation recently.
That sounded very much like me.
We haven't seen
No, I
each
don't
other
have
in a
anything.
while, and you've been on vacation.
Yeah.
In the UP, as I hear.
Yes.
Good
went
times?
to the Upper Peninsula. It is striking to me. I'm not a huge world traveler. I've only been outside the United States one time in
Small
my
worlds, mostly?
Yes, in my many years on the planet, and that was to go to Canada briefly for work for like 2 days, and it was work. I didn't go explore and adventure and whatever. The few places that I would sort of compare to the UP that I've been to, would be in the Northwest, even Colorado to an extent. I was really surprised at how beautiful and rugged and, just remote. And I guess remote I shouldn't be surprised with. But there is mountainous terrain, and there are beautiful streams and waterfalls, and there is something that much of those parts of the Northwest don't have, essentially an ocean front, right?
Right.
I mean, Lake Superior is immense.
Yeah.
To the point that it's an ocean. When you're on the beach,
An inland
you're
ocean,
on
if
a
you will.
beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a really cool mix of outdoor adventure and, some food related experiences and what have you. The weather changes super rapidly, like in the mountains. The weather forecast was different within just hours every day. So preparing for it if you're camping is a little challenging, right?
Sure.
Temperature drops and that kind of thing. There was just a lot of really cool stuff. We were there for over a week, and I kind of can't say enough about it. I mean, it was my kind of thing. It was really, really cool. So
cool.
If you're thinking about going, I was surprised not to see more out of state. Like when I have been to Colorado, when I've been to, Washington State, so on and so forth, and even going down to the Gulf Coast for a warmer vacation, there are a lot of out-of-state license plates around.
Sure.
In the UP, for the time we were there, 12 days, 11 days, it was mostly Michigan license plates. And I know that's a lot of people coming from the Mitten
Right.
up to, do their summer vacation in the UP. But I was surprised not to see more out-of-state license plates around. So...
Oh, I'm glad you had a good time.
It's worth it to go. And a last final side note that just popped into my head while we were researching, we didn't get to go because we sort of discovered it too late. But somehow or another, my wife was on the web. She came across a website with the top 10 best rated, I'm going to say wild, sort of natural vacation destinations.
Sure.
And, what would you expect to see on that list first? Like Yosemite, right? And, maybe Arches and that kind of thing. There is an island called Isle Royale that is part of the Upper Peninsula. It's north in Lake Superior, almost to Canada. That is apparently one of the most pristine wild places there is, period.
Well,
And
then it's a good thing you didn't go.
Didn't go. Would have ruined
Keep
it.
the peoples away.
And it is voted on a couple lists to be like the coolest place to go, the coolest destination. So they've blown it, and now it's going to be overrun by tourists and ruined.
Yeah, because of the 10 people that listen.
Right. They tell two people, and they tell two people, and so on.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Anyway, so that's a way too long rant about the Upper Peninsula.
I'm glad you had a good time.
Go.
I know
The
that you
people
needed
are
to get
swell,
away
and it was good. It was good.
Cool. All right, so we're going to jump right into Ask and Ye Shall Deceive.
We are in DDO. So I say you go first. Should we explain?
You go. I have a pretty easy one here for you.
Yeah.
Why can't I come out to your place?
Because I'm afraid of your dad.
Very good. Very good.
I was thinking of, it's kind of funny I stumbled over that for a minute because I was trying to think of the girl's name who would precede so-and-so, I can't come to your place. You know what I mean? I was trying to fit that lyric in there.
That's Bad Motor Scooter.
It is.
Off of the Montrose album called Montrose from I'm going to guess before I look and say 1973. But I have no idea. I'm probably wrong.
Well.
Written by Sammy Hagar. It was 1973. Yay, give
Boom,
me a pat myself on the back.
He hits it again.
I haven't, it's been a while since I put that one in there.
Yeah.
So nice catch there, Reed. Right off the bat,
Right
we
off the
got
bat.
one.
That was a good one. I feel better for missing, I can't remember exactly what it was, but a previous episode's Montrose tune that I should have
Rock the Nation?
Rock the Nation.
Yeah, I remember
that. Oh, my
that.
gosh.
I can remember.
Still
I'm still
carrying
enjoying
around
that.
the wounds. I still have the scars from that embarrassment.
What do you got for
my
me there,
turn.
sir?
If you hadn't guessed, this challenge is us turning lyrics from a song into a question, so the other person has to cook on that and figure out what you're talking about. Hey, Race.
Yeah.
Of Apes, where does she keep the Moet Chandon?
It's Moet Chandon. It's French.
Well, I get that, but I'm trying to think of how it's pronounced in the song lyrics. I thought
he says Moet.
Huh.
It's in a pretty cabinet.
Oh, it is.
It's kept there in case.
You're right. You're right. Yeah. Just like whom?
Marie Antoinette.
Right. Because she is a killer queen, of course. Nice going. Nicely done. I'd hope that might make you stumble for just a second, but no. Killer Queen from the band Queen, written by Freddie Mercury, 1974. We are in the 70s to start off, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
From the album Sheer Heart Attack. Great album.
Oh, that's a great album. I actually bought that album for one of my first or second girlfriends, early on when I was just beginning. Yeah. Great album. Great album.
Love it.
What do you got?
I got one for you. So who finds a convenient streetlight and steps out of the shade?
Well, Romeo does. Yeah. And he says something like, "You and me, babe, how about it?"
Yep. Something exactly like that. Very nice.
Something that would be
That's
our
Dire Straits.
Our boys, Dire Straits.
The artist, the song Romeo and Juliet, and that's one of those songs that I can never hear too much of.
I know.
It could come on 3 times in the same day.
We might have talked about this before, but
we probably did, but it was
agree.
a long time ago.
I should be tired of hearing this song. And even when I first heard it, I still don't know why it captured me, because there's an aspect of that song that is pure cheese.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's just wonderful.
But it's well put
together.
It's Mark Knopfler. Yeah. He just knows how to write.
It is wonderful for some reason.
That's from Making Movies, 1981.
And that album, as we have said, just...
I've said it pretty much of all of the Dire Straits albums.
Yeah. Okay, what do I got for you? You ask. How about, what is the reason we're here, every man and every woman?
Is to help each other and to love each other.
Close. Take care of each other.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Chrissy.
Chrissy.
It is the point.
It's Chrissy Hynde. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a message of love from the Pretenders. And I was going to stop and say just a fantastic and gush over the song, but I'm kind of tired of hearing myself gush over all the songs.
Oddly enough, I'm tired of hearing you too. I'm also tired of hearing you.
Well, you're tired of hearing me say virtually anything, but so Chrissy Hynde wrote that. It's from 1981 off of Pretenders 2. And go get the album and listen to it. That's what I'll say.
Oh, yeah.
And listen to it on the playlist.
It's going to be on the playlist. We haven't been throwing that out there this episode yet.
We're trying not to beat you to death with it, but, we'll get it in there.
I've been listening to them. They're actually pretty cool. And I love the way that it jumps around and there's not really any continuity or.
It's not listening to a radio station with a particular theme from a particular era.
I was actually putting one together recently for one of our episodes, and there's some real, back at, you go here, and then you're here, and then you're here. And it's kind of a cool thing, really. You know what I mean?
That's my thing. I love it.
All right. So I'm going to reach way, 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 way back.
Please do.
And this song, I'm not going to say that this is rock and roll, but the lyrics are so cool. Why can't he go when St. Peter calls?
Why can't he go when St. Peter calls? I do feel like I know this lyric.
You definitely know it.
But it's not rock and roll, and it's old.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Nope. It's not coming.
Because he owes his soul to the company store.
To the company store.
It's 16 tons.
16 tons.
Yeah. Was done by Tennessee Ernie Ford.
What do you get?
That, it's just, and he's got such a cool voice.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was.
I heard a version of that recently that was really well done. I can't remember.
And apparently, I didn't record the writer. Hold on. Yeah, I did. Merle Travis.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why I was reading up on this a few months ago.
In 1947 is when it was written. Tennessee Ernie Ford had it in 55. But there were 4 or 5 people doing the song in 1955 on the radio at the same time.
Right. Right.
Like, and it was several years after the song had been written. I don't know if something, maybe it was in a movie or a TV
Right,
show
why
or
did
whatever,
it,
and prompted it, and then a bunch of people did it.
Why did it pop up?
Yeah,
Right.
but like I said, there were at least 3 or 4 different people that had the song out on the radio at the same time.
And it's one of those, while it's, I think, probably properly considered more of a country western genre song or something in that bucket. I remember a lot of, when I was a kid, hearing a lot of different country artists doing their take on it, even
Sure.
in the 60s, you know what I mean, and into the 70s.
Today they would call that Americana.
Well, yeah, right.
Right?
I think you're right.
But yeah, and it's like, and Tennessee Ernie Ford has a
You said it.
like a really
Yeah,
deep bass.
right.
very rich.
It's a sharp, rich,
Yeah.
very enjoyable.
If you're not familiar with that song, even if you
Just
don't
for a
listen to the
kick.
playlist, go listen to that one because it's
Go
very
listen
cool.
to it. Yeah.
We are showing our age though because it was a hit. It was a hit before we were both born, but it was something that I saw on TV a dozen or 15 times when I was a
I
kid.
guess that's another good point. It has been used in and still occasionally pops up in an advertisement,
Yep.
in the background of a TV commercial,
You load
as a
16
as a
tons.
spoof or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you got?
Let's see who could kill you. This one's a little. It takes a little bit of.
Getting there?
No, it needs a little bit of verbiage, like lyrical verbiage, to fully give the answer. Who could kill you with a wink of her eye?
I can't think of her name, but I can hear the song. It's Ballroom Blitz is the song.
It is. It is.
Somebody in the corner. No,
And they don't say a name. It's just
the girl in the corner
the
that
girl
everyone
in the corner.
adores.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
There
Cool.
you go.
Well, that's the second time that song's come up in the last few.
It is, and it was in a different challenge, obviously, but I just kept thinking of that. There are a few spots in that song that you could use for this kind of thing.
The way
It's
that
kinda fun.
his inflection in some different parts of that song is what makes it kind of interesting.
Yeah. I love that song. I get a huge kick out of it still when it comes on the radio. And you'll be hearing it when you listen to the playlist, but it's another one of those, man, go tap your toe to this thing. It's a crazy cool song. Ballroom Blitz from Sweet. Sweet is a cool band with a lot of cool songs from back in the day, too. That did not get airplay so much, but deserves some listening. Michael Donald Chapman and Nicholas Barry Chin wrote that. 1974 from Desolation Boulevard album. And we're moving on to the next shot from Race of Apes.
Even though I have the power and I have the will, who laughs in my face?
Oh, my mother and father, my wife and my friends.
There you go. That'll do it.
I see them laugh in my face when I have the power. I'm not a charity case.
That's Blue Collar Man, or also called Long Nights in
Long
Parens,
Nights, Impossible.
by
Nights.
the Styx Band. Tommy Shaw wrote that. Pieces of 8, 1978. I would have actually put that a little later in my head.
In 78? Yeah, I think. Well, you know me.
Yeah, you're always
I
off
would've
by
said
7
85.
years. Yeah.
Tack 8 years onto it, and I'm good to go. That was a fun one for me. That just flashed a whole.
I kind of got into a little bit of a Styx thing recently, and I mean, Styx was a very, very big band for me in the.
No, me too.
in
Oh my gosh, yeah.
the early '70s right through the end of the '70s.
Yeah.
And I mean, being from Chicago, they were a band that kind of the Chicago area is where they were from.
Yes.
South side of the city. They all kind of grew up there, and so there was a lot of, oh, hey, we've got a band that's big on the radio, you know. Right. And plus, they were on the radio. Like, I mean, they owned the radio for a while.
They had a crap load of radio songs for several
so,
years. Yeah.
And I haven't listened in a long time because it is, while there's some really great guitar work and some really great construction, it is overproduced pop by and large.
Yeah, it was power pop a lot.
You know,
of it, yeah.
And so I kind of got away from listening to it. But just recently, I was like, you know what, I haven't heard in a long time, and then I kind of went off on a little bit of a Styx thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
it's not a bad way to spend some time on your ears for sure.
So I did. I started. We'll say you do 2 more, I'll do 1 more. Is that good?
Good.
All right.
That'll work for me. How about this? You should know the answer to this question about this song. What's the name of the girl that G I think is swell? It's a dead giveaway. I mean, I know you know this one.
It's not coming. And I was just thinking, like, man, we've hit them all so far.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a pullback. It's 67, 1967. So
Eleanor.
there you go. Nice. It came.
Thank you for
to
saying
the fore.
1967. It put me in the right neighborhood.
Right.
That's, who is that?
You
Who's
know
it?
this.
Who is it?
It's the Turtles.
Okay.
Yeah. I think if I'd given you 5
minute
more
or two?
seconds, that would have popped into your head too.
You know, like their songs, like the stuff that they had on the radio was really very sweet and syrupy and love songs. And they did a tour or two with Zappa.
Yeah.
And it's really scary. Like, it gets really, really blue, man.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know. I mean,
yeah.
they were, they're sort of a
Flo and Eddie.
right, sort of a low key. As far as their radio songs go, low key sort of. I mean, that song, Eleanor is a bopper, right?
Yeah,
it's got a cool
yeah.
rhythm, but it's a low key song, like.
Yeah, it's just you're just kind of bopping along. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that was from '67 off of The Boat That Rocked. Written by Howard Kalin, Mark Volman, John Barbata, Al Nickel, and Jim Pons. There were a lot of people involved in making that. It was a big hit. That song was on the radio for a long time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
From the Turtle. Okay, what's for me? What
All right,
song
I'm
should
going to say
I know?
this in a way that helps you to know the answer.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you. Thanks for all the confidence there.
No, because this is. There's a lot of lyrics.
You just want me to
there's,
succeed.
There's a lot of lyrics in this song, and it's easy for the lyrics to get lost in this song.
Okay.
So why did you start to let your hair grow and spend big bucks on your wardrobe?
Oh my gosh.
And this song is a great tune. This is one of those top 10 you should have this on your list songs.
Started to let my hair grow and spent big bucks on my wardrobe. I know that lyric. Have you recently used this song?
I don't think so. Not from one that I've done the
Oh my
editing on.
gosh, I feel like I just read this, was just looking at this lyric the other day. I'm not getting it. It's not coming through the
Well, you would do that.
haze.
You ready?
Is it a Mellencamp song?
No.
Who is
no. You would do this to be hip. Because the name of the song is What is Hip?
What is it?
By Tower of Power. You definitely know
yeah,
the song.
yeah.
We've talked about it before. Written by Castillo, Kupka,
Tower
and
of Power, yeah.
Dave Garibaldi. Tower of Power, 1973.
Oh,
That's a
man, that is a great song.
There's this right there. That right there is a reason to listen to the playlist.
right. Seek it out. Yeah, now I'm. That's one of the. I've been doing pretty good lately about.
Followed up.
After we're done recording on the drive home, listening to several, like keeping a few things in my head and listening to them on the way home. That's one of them.
I think the album was Tower of Power, and it may have been their first album.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
a lot of people know Tower of Power more as they're a horn section that's on other stuff.
Right.
Okay. But they really, are a really funky, and like this whole thing, the horns, the guitar, and the lyrics, and the beat is just driving, man. I want to stop what we're doing and listen to this right now.
We want to play it, folks. That's why we did the playlist. We want to play all of them. All right.
Your last one for
mine
this
is
segment.
the last one. You should know the answer to this song's question. What did he get caught doing once when he was 5?
Stealing.
That's correct, Race of Apes. You got that right off the bat. I thought about simplifying it up a little bit or trying to make it less...
Well, I got caught stealing once
when I was 5.
And the most important word in that sentence is once.
Right.
Yes.
I got caught one time.
Yep.
Not once upon a time. And you know who that is, of course. Jane's Addiction from 1990. A little more recent. Ritual de lo Habitual was the album. Written by Dave Navarro and Eric Adam Avery and Lou Reed. And I did not research whether that is or is not
it is.
related to.
It is.
Perry Farrell and Stephen Perkins.
They're trying to do a thing of getting back together, doing a tour.
I saw a news blurb. I only glanced at the headline. It was 2 days ago that Dave Navarro, it was quoting Dave Navarro as being, a little upset that they were touring as Jane's Addiction without him. So I didn't read further to see. It's a current article. So apparently there's something going on there.
Yeah, I don't, and I thought that they actually had, and I could easily be wrong here because this has been going on a lot lately, but I think there were some shows canceled because of illness.
How did I get around to seeing that there was new music out? Maybe I didn't read. Oh, I know how I came upon that information because apparently a new album from Taylor Hawkins of Foo Fighters,
who is deceased,
and the album was recorded apparently, completed
just before he passed. With Navarro,
and who's the other player? Anyway, I can't think of it. Clark.
We shared this information somewhere along the way recently, like in the last 2 weeks.
Maybe that's where I got around to it. Maybe you texted me or something. And there's a whole new album out that is songs written by and vocally performed by Taylor Hawkins, at least for the most part,
right,
on the album. But there was some delay in getting it released because his respect to his family and
sure.
Making
Dave
sure
Navarro,
that his widow was good with it.
If we're talking about the same article, I believe what I read was that Dave Navarro pretty much shut down for a year.
Yeah.
He said he was so devastated by losing Taylor Hawkins after they were good friends and they had just spent a bunch of time together.
Right. They had just recorded and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
So he actually completely set down his guitar, walked away from dealing with music for almost a year.
Yeah. They haven't officially released the album. It's upcoming, but several videos, and I watched and listened to 3 of them. Several videos that are going to be officially released are available already, and it's pretty cool stuff. I mean, there's definitely some Foo Fighters sound to it, but it's his own thing. It's really cool. It's worth going to check out. Anyway,
right, so
that was my lasty.
But you put me on a path. I have to share this. So I just recently, and I can't tell you what social media it is because I look at so little of it. I just don't pay attention to where it came from.
Sure.
It's a little 2-minute blurb. It was regarding Dave Grohl. And it was you bring it up because Taylor Hawkins, Foo Fighters.
Sure.
That's why I mentioned it.
Yeah.
But it was so interesting, and I had forgotten about it, but now I have to actually go with this. So Dave Grohl was telling a story apparently recently on a video, an interview, where he was in, I'm going to say Ireland, but it could easily be Scotland, so don't quote me on that.
Sure.
After Nirvana, pre-Foo Fighters, just driving around. It was a passenger in a car driving around in this really remote area, just trying to deal with his life because he'd just lost, right, his friend and
Kurt and whatever,
and he didn't know what to do to go forward anymore, and they pull over to see a scenic outlook in this beautiful part of Ireland, and there's a young man, I guess there was some friends, and he sees the car sitting there, and he's going to go hitchhike. So he's running up to the car, and he doesn't immediately recognize who's there, who's sitting in the chair. But the kid is wearing a Nirvana T-shirt, the one with Cobain's face on it.
Yeah.
With the mascara, the image, the very popular image, right?
Right.
And Dave Grohl sees the T-shirt, and it kind of freaks him out.
Yeah, I guess.
So he tells the driver, "I'll go on," and the car speeds
Move.
off. And as the car speeds off, and the kid looks in his face, he realizes it's Dave Grohl.
Right.
Okay. And Dave Grohl goes on to say that and it made me realize I can't not do music. I can't continue to just pretend that I can't that I'm done. I have to get back to work. I have to get back to work. Is essentially what he said.
Right.
So at any rate, in this interview, that he's doing this. Apparently the kid saw the interview
Oh.
and is now sitting telling the story. And it's the two interviews, the two videos are side by side.
Right.
Back and forth, right? Dave Grohl's talking, this kid's
Yeah,
talking. And the kid found the picture of him in the T-shirt in that part of Ireland
Oh, yeah.
and sent it off. And I didn't see a reaction from Dave Grohl about seeing
That picture, right.
the guy was there. But like the kid had been telling the story for 20 years, and nobody believed him.
Right.
And now Dave Grohl is telling the story from the other side, and it validates this.
kids.
Yes. Is that not cool shit?
I'm not kidding you guys. It was Dave Grohl.
I saw Dave
swear.
Grohl.
Yeah, he was
Like,
driving away.
He's driving around in the center of Ireland, in the middle of
Right.
nowhere. Sure, pal.
You saw Dave Grohl waiting for sheep to cross the road, right?
So anyway, I saw it.
That's
and
a great story.
I think I saw it on YouTube, and I wouldn't know how to go back and find it. But man, it was a cool little story.
That is a great story.
All right.
Okay.
We are moving on to the
time
next
to get
step.
our feet back on the ground. And
We're gonna do the segment that is listed in my list as whatever the fuck you want to call it.
You're just gonna have to get over it.
I know.
Or you're gonna have to come up with.
I'm gonna have to get over it, but I'm never gonna stop talking bad about it.
Or you're gonna have to come up with
Something.
an alternate worth its salt name, because we're not gonna call it whatever. I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen.
All right, I think it's your turn to start.
If anybody out there feels like we should tune that name whatever, go ahead and chime in.
And
And
this
let
one,
us
you
know.
probably actually need to explain what we're doing here, what the concept is.
Yes, tune that name is a challenge in which I, in this instance, whoever the challenger is, presents the other person with some phrase, group of words, statement that hopefully leads them to the name of the artist or band that you are,
Or a song in some cases.
or song in some cases, that you're trying to get them to guess. And as an immediate, for instance, an example of that, I'll start the game with this clue: an amount that's much more than is needed, or having way too much.
INXS.
See how nicely that worked, boys and girls? That's the way it's supposed to work. And of course, as with everything about this show, it's supposed to make you now have a cascading overload in your brain of all the INXS songs that you're like, I gotta go listen to all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, this part of the show, for not naming songs,
So nothing really ends up on the playlist.
isn't going to pop anything on the playlist, likely, unless we were to say, like, hey, remember Devil Inside? Or something like that. And then, of
See
course,
what he
it
just
would
did there?
pop up on
He
the
just
playlist.
tossed that song into the playlist.
That just helped to get one on there. So
Okay.
that's how it works. You go.
Okay. Physician, hooker's client.
I didn't hear the middle word. Physician, hooker's
Client.
client. Physician, hooker's client.
You're going to really be upset with
I am
yourself.
really going to be upset. Doctor. Why can't my brain untangle it?
I don't know.
What is it?
Dr. John?
Dr. John. I was thinking, I was stuck on Dr. Hook
Yes.
and the medicine show, and I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense with the words he just said. Patient, client, patient. And then I just got all worked up. Okay, great. Cool. Now you're thinking of all sorts of Dr. John songs. Songs like... okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I won't. Are you ready?
I'm ready and waiting.
How about you should know the name of this band? Too Many Residents in the Domicile.
Crowded House.
Damn, that was fast, dude. I must be doing a really good job with my clues.
Sure, that's what it is.
Crowded House.
It has nothing to do with me at all. It's all you.
Way to go. That was way too fast. So all I can
You got
think is
nothing.
to start throwing song names out there, trying to stay away from that.
Well,
it's hard to do.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of them there.
Oh my gosh.
Spirit Sanctuary.
Spirit Sanctuary. Soul
Wow.
Haven. Soul Haven. Soul. I'm not. It's. I know it.
Yeah, you do. How many bands start with the word soul?
I know. That's what I'm. My brain is like, can't find the other F. I know soul part, but I'm taking a break over here. Soul. No.
Soul Asylum.
Asylum.
Because we think of
Damn it.
Asylum mostly, and I had to find.
This crow back here.
He had an opinion. He wanted
He
to share.
did. He was like, "Read, you idiot! Read, you dumbass! Asylum, asylum."
Asylum. Like when I hear Asylum, my first thought is
Crazy house.
yeah. We
Insane
don't call it
asylum.
that anymore, but that's
Right.
Yes.
Right. Looney
But
bin.
The Asylum is
Sorry.
loony bin.
Sorry.
There you go. And there goes 1% of our
That's
listeners.
right. I'm
the
getting
crow-
it from
the
the
crow
bird
agrees.
again. I'm getting verbally
But
reprimanded.
asylum really is. I mean,
Admonished.
the
Yes.
much more common usage
People
of asylum
seek
is
asylum.
people seeking asylum, right?
Right.
Sanctuary, trying to get away.
Yes.
Trying-
Yes. And the bird is now yelling, "Sanctuary! Sanctuary!" Wow, that is a loud bird.
It is.
We're
and
outdoors,
he's got an
folks.
opinion.
We are outdoors.
What do you got for me?
Hey, Bird, this is a show with apes, not birds. Okay, how about a desperate time in a life? Or possibly fallen on hard times?
Oh, no. I got nothing.
Dire Straits.
Oh, I should have had that.
Kind of thought, although it's not an oft-used phrase, even though
Anymore.
you know the band name. Okay, that was fun. Stumped you.
All right. Yeah, you did. You did. All right. I have a few more here. Indigo Satellite.
Indigo Satellite.
This is not a band. This is a song.
Oh, it is.
I should have prefaced that.
Yeah, that does change my brain, but I don't know if it's going to make it any more effective. Blue missile, blue rocket, blue.
Again, expand the usage of the word satellite. Like you didn't expand the usage of the word asylum. Asylum.
Plymouth Satellite, the car. No.
Blue Plymouth. Yes, that's the name of the
Blue
song.
Plymouth. Nope, not going to get it.
How about Blue Moon?
Blue Moon. It is a satellite. Damn
See,
it.
I was trying to help you out there, but
I
you wouldn't
know.
follow
I
along.
should have got that. That
That's
should have
actually
been
a
laydown.
Rodgers and Hart tune that was written in 1934, but it was a hit for the a cappella crowd in '61
Yes.
for the Martels.
Blue,
No, Marcells.
Blue Moon.
Doop, doop, doop,
Doop,
doop.
doop, doop.
Yep, that's the one.
And
that's
then, of
gonna
course,
make it on the
ba
playlist.
ba 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 ba. How do you ever think about that doo-wop in that fashion, which was huge? The words were ba 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 dang a dong ding dong. The only person who's come close to anything like that is Kid Rock.
Or Frank Sinatra did a lot of.
No, I mean since the 80s.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Nobody has really thrown a lot of rhythmic nonsense, monosyllabic words together.
Well,
in
you
a
know
song.
where the whole a cappella thing from the '60s came from.
I don't probably.
Oh, yes,
really
you
know. I
do. You
probably
really
don't
do. You
know.
really do. It came from. It was. What's the word we use now when we take people's culture?
Appropriated.
It was
Sure.
appropriated from the black street corner guys that were standing
Yes.
there, because all of that stuff. Now, Blue Moon was a song that had been a song for 30 years.
Sure,
Okay.
right.
But like all of that stuff that, oh hell, Pat Boone and everybody else did was stuff that they took from black artists
Yeah,
that were doing it,
yeah.
and a lot of it, I think. It may have, and I don't know this. This is just me surmising right now, where I probably shouldn't be. But I think some of it might come from street slang.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
But
There's
yeah,
some reasoning there, or
and the Marcells, although that song was not like appropriated, that was an actual Rodgers and Hart tune that had been popular in the 30s. They probably got that whole a cappella thing that they did, like everybody else did back then.
I wonder, because it just sort of flowed through my head, and here we are on a tangent that has nothing to do with the challenge that we're doing. But hey, that's the mixtapes thing, guys. I wonder how much of that may have been derived from when I think about that particular
Aspect.
that particular example from Blue Moon, that lengthy, da ba 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 ba, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think of the bass and the guitar player playing their two parts, and maybe that was musical content first, and they were like, let's emulate that. I know that a cultural appropriation part, but that's
Right.
like an exceptionally long, and there
Well,
are
I
other
mean, the thing is,
examples.
you got 4 guys, 5 guys standing on a street corner. They don't have guitars and basses,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
they're
they're
doing
just-
the vocal. They're doing the music
Right.
parts vocally.
Ding dong, ding dong. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
So that
whatever
may
comes
very
out of
well
your
be-
mouth that sounds like maybe strumming a guitar in that part or whatever,
Yeah.
or playing the chopping on a piano for
Yeah.
that part. Ding dong, ding dong. You know.
Yeah.
I can just see that sort of coming from it. That's fun to think about. Okay.
I'll bet you that there's someone who's written a dissertation about
I
that.
bet I could pop on the Googles and find article after article.
All right, so
to that
find
event.
something. What do you got?
Hey, how about you guess the name of this band, to be specific? All I have is bands, so we can just get that out of the way. When you're needing a manicure badly.
When you're needing a manicure badly.
That's one way of trying to clue you into it. I've got another way
Okay,
of
give
trying to
it to
clue
me.
you into it. The other way is you'll have to swing the hammer many times to drive these.
9 Inch Nails.
9-inch nails.
Okay. You are broken, as I've said many times before on this show.
That was
Very
fun.
nice,
That was fun
very
for me
nice.
to just get out there just because.
Oh.
Makes me feel up above it.
Oh.
Oh,
See?
see,
You can't.
I just snuck one onto the
You
playlist.
can't help
for
yourself. And I have a particular reason for using this. Using.
everybody.
I just created
That's
a new
good
wording.
word, isn't it? That should
I
be
have
a
a
word.
good reason for using this particular one. I'm jumping ahead a couple. Ebony Ravens.
Ebony Ravens, Black Crows.
There you
Yes.
go. And the reason I mention that is because while Reed was on vacation, he stumbled across a Black Crows, a current tour
Current Black Crows tour
T-shirt in a Walmart.
Yeah, just walked in the front of a Walmart. It was on the cheapo shirt rack for $3.
And it didn't. They didn't
Brand
have one
new.
in his size, so he bought one for me.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna cry
would
now.
have bought one for myself too. But I know that probably the Black Crows, maybe aren't too flattered because the tour's ongoing.
Yeah.
And their stuff
Screw
started
them.
getting marked
Screw
down,
Them,
but
screw
I
them
mean-
Walmart cut down people.
Walmart seasonal, you can see how that happens without regard to whether the band's successful or not.
Sure.
They don't care. They're just trying to move merchandise. But for
Oh, I have a
$3 is goodwill price.
I have a good, cool Black Crows T-shirt that I'll be wearing to the next show I go to.
Absolutely. I mean, that is awesome. If
All
there
right.
had been one for me, I would have got it. Okay.
What do you got?
This would be my last one, and then you one more, right?
Right.
How about not what, where, when, or how?
Who? The Who.
Very good.
That
Very
was
good.
that was actually very easy.
Yeah, I know. I wondered if it would be or if it might throw you off, but it was fun for me to put down
There you go.
on the
Sure.
list anyway. So that was, and that's all that matters, is that it's fun for me.
That really is the key.
Apparently, that's really all that matters, is based
All right,
by
this
our
is my last
listenership.
one in this segment. Ragtag Gang.
Motley Crew.
Very good. See, there you go.
Just
I guess I gave you a good clue, is what that
you
means,
gave me
right?
a good clue. You did better. Not me. I'm of course naturally gifted. Motley Crue. That was good. That was kind of gave me a little feel good.
There you go. Well, good.
Like Dr. Feel Good.
Anything that I can
Kind
do
of.
to. Oh, see, now you tossed. Okay,
I did it. See?
You got another
I
one in there.
snuck that one in there. You were
I
gonna-
almost didn't catch that.
You were
See?
going to converse
I
on
was.
that basis.
So you're now sneaking songs into the playlist.
Well, we were going to go through almost that entire. If we had just played it straight, that whole thing would have had no songs for
There
the
you go.
playlist. So,
I, in creating the playlists, and not patting myself on the back, but to be clear, since we've been doing playlists, I've been responsible for that. I've been creating
Right.
playlists. And what it's done is it's made me look at my clues differently.
really,
Yeah, because I'll come across a song while I'm not doing the
I can see
playlist,
that.
that I just come across a song that I want to be in the next playlist. So now I have to create a clue for that song so I can get it in the playlist.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to. I like it. I
There you
wanna
go.
start doing
All right, so what are we doing next there, Reedster?
We are doing starting lines as our next.
Oh, and by the way,
madness.
just in case anybody was wondering, we are Mixtapes.
We be mixtapes.
And this is a podcast.
Race of Apes, Read of Apes. It is a podcast about music and
Commentary and
on
bullshit
music and our games and our goofiness and our
I
going
think,
on.
I think it has a name.
It's called "You Should Know This Song," Race.
There you go. Thank
and
you.
You should know the name of this podcast.
I was prompt. Man, I just sat there for 3
I
minutes.
should have
trying to
given
prompt
you a. I should have given you a clue. Challenged you to come up with the name of the song. The podcast.
Yes, this is You Should Know This Song. We are Mixtapes, and we don't do anywhere near enough of that. But I guess we're not serious about getting.
We're not serious. We've only been doing it for
30 plus episodes now.
Right, 30 something episodes. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, like, share,
Follow all that good stuff.
All that stuff.
Oh,
And-
my daughter did say.
And comment and let us know
Oh,
what
please,
you
yes,
what
we
you
need
want
the
to hear and
comments,
what
'cause
we've screwed up and who we are and why we're here. And
we do know we're stupid.
Yes.
My
but at least
daughter
we have
sent
that.
me a thing that said that today was the first time that Spotify notified her via push that there was a new episode.
Oh, really?
So I don't know if it was some line that we had to cross before Spotify.
Right, we had to
did
earn
that.
our stripes there in order
Whatever.
for Spotify to.
Yes.
They're not serious
our
until they
white
get
stripes?
to 30 episodes. Yes, our white stripes.
Yeah, I really don't know what the deal was, but she did say, so if you haven't been getting push notifications on Spotify, make sure they're turned on, and maybe that's fixed now.
Yeah. It could be that we've managed to cross the line, the qualifier
The qualificator.
for that activity. Okay, so it is starting lines in which we give the other person a text clue that is the first line of a song, unless the first line is the title of the song, in which case the first next available
Right,
lyric.
the first next.
And you started first one, I started the second
So
challenge.
it's my turn.
So you get going with starting lines.
Okay.
Drop it.
You get too much, you get too high.
Not enough and you're going to die.
Very good.
Love
I
the
am
chat.
impressed.
The earlier clue that I gave for the sweet,
Yes,
not the sweet,
for sweet.
was I had in mind to bring up the song "Love Is Like Oxygen" because man,
It's
cool
well,
tune.
we had on a recent episode.
Yes.
The song Ballroom Blitz came up.
Yes.
And one of the things we said was they had a bunch of other music, but neither one of us could come up with anything off the top of our heads.
Right.
The next day or so after that, I happened to hear Love Is Like Oxygen on the radio. I sent that clue to my sister, and she responded immediately. Like,
Yeah.
I expected it to be a little bit more she had to dig for. She's like,
Right.
no, that's like my favorite Sweet
Pow.
song. And actually, I've been listening to some Sweet, out of the blue, right? The album, Level Headed.
right?
The song, Love Is Like Oxygen. And by the way, the next line after you get too much, you get too high is like you said, not enough and you're going to die. And that is an instance where Love Is Like Oxygen is the first line in the song.
Yes, right.
So that got skipped. Andy Scott and Trevor Griffin, 1978. The album Level Headed.
Very cool. Good clue. Thank you.
Thank you. That was one of
And-
those that I wrote the clue to get the song on the playlist.
I like it. Okay, I'm going to speak this one to you
Okay.
since that's where we're going. I'm just mad about Saffron.
And she's just mad about me.
Yeah.
Mellow Yellow by Donovan.
Right. It's a little bit of a reach back, 1967. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised by that because I don't know, the song has the weird sort of trumpets in it and whatever, and I guess it sounds like it's from 1967.
I came across a Donovan tune on the radio a month or two ago that I have been keeping. I can't find a way to get it into the show.
Really?
Yeah. It's a song I'd never heard before.
It sounds like you need to go to your new tactic of how you get clues into the show.
And just find something. All right. Cool.
Donovan wrote that song also, by the way.
He is a really cool act.
A cool character in music.
Yeah. Very interesting
music
guy. Was
lore
involved in
also.
a lot of different stuff. Stepped in. kind of just jumped in on the side of a lot of little projects. And he was very, very, very popular for a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
especially in the UK.
Okay,
all right.
what do you got? What do you got?
I got, so this is a cool one. Put on your red dress, baby. Lord, we're going out tonight.
Wow, that lyric is, I mean, something similar to that lyric is not uncommon. Put on your red dress, baby. Lord, we're going out tonight.
And then I got a second line if you need it.
Yeah, yeah.
And wear some boxing gloves in case some fool might want to fight.
Oh, I know this song.
And there are like half a dozen different songs that are kind of rip-offs of this. In rock and roll, they've made other songs, changed the lyrics a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's approximately a classic,
Yes.
blues
Yes.
riff. I'm not going to get it.
It's high heel sneakers.
Oh, yeah.
And in a lot of cases, they've
The
changed that
chorus
boxing
just
gloves.
popped into my head. The
The boxing gloves line becomes high heel sneakers.
Right.
So that's written by Robert Higginbottom.
Okay.
Excuse me. His also known as Tommy Tucker. That's what he went by, as Tommy Tucker.
Okay.
High heel sneakers. It was a single, 1964, and the reason he talks about the boxing gloves is because he was a Golden Gloves boxer in the 50s.
There you go. Nice.
That's a really cool.
Another boxer turned musician.
It's kind of a. I mean, it's 1964, so it doesn't really precede Little Richard.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a pre-Little Richard kind of Little Richard song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. Yeah. And it's been covered plentifully.
Yeah, and probably by Little Richard actually,
Yeah, it might have
because
been,
it comes to mind for me that he did it.
right.
Yeah, it's definitely a rockin' boogie woogie tune.
Yeah, like boogie woogie is the phrase I was trying to think of a minute ago when I said blues. Boogie woogie, yeah. And boogie woogie also dates both of us,
Yeah,
kind of.
I guess.
Which is kind of a shame because boogie woogie is kind of a cool term.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like it
You
ought
remember,
to be usable.
I'm gonna inadvertently throw one in here. Long John Baldry.
Yeah, don't try to lay
Don't
bougie
Bougie
woogie
Woogie.
on the king of rock and roll.
The king of rock and roll.
Yeah. His story is interesting as well.
Very
if you
much
get a
so.
chance.
But the boogie woogie, like I hadn't thought of that in a while. But he's telling the story about talking to the cop.
Yeah.
And the cop is writing it
Cop
down. This bougie woogie music.
Well, I don't know. The defendant. Okay.
All right, what do you got?
Well, you can tell by the way.
Well, you got to give me more. There's like two different songs right there. You can tell by the way I. Like that's Staying Alive is one of them. Is that
you guessed the right
Okay,
one
okay.
of the options. I thought it might come through like that. Yeah, Staying Alive. You can tell by the way I move my walk, use my walk. I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. Should I keep going?
No, thanks.
Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. Barry, Maurice, and Robin wrote that.
The Bee Gees or the Brothers Gibb.
Brothers Gibb, the Bee Gees. And 1977 from Saturday Night Fever album. And you can just hear the bass line.
Oh,
is
yeah.
all I can say when I have that song pop into my head. Which is a huge anchor for me as to why it's a song that I enjoy hearing even now. Okay, so what do you got? What do you got?
I got, the thing is, I've got some really great clues in this segment.
Yeah.
And I can't pick them. I want to do them all at once.
You want to do like a three-fer? You do three in a row. I do three in a row.
No, I want to just go through the
Go
entire
through
list.
your
Yeah.
list. Have it all to yourself.
Let's see. Let's get one. This is a song I heard recently that I really had forgotten what a cool tune it is. The first line is, well, I'm having a little trouble, Lord, but I'm keeping it together.
Yeah. Just flashed in my head. Oh, come on, brain. My brain is not functioning in this game. I'll have a
Well,
little
we're not
trouble
doing,
going.
no, we normally deliver these visually, and we're not doing it this time.
Give me another line.
My baby just walked out the doors. She says this time forever.
Yo, my gosh. Total. Nope. Now Roy Buchanan's coming into my head. Nope. I'm not going to get it.
It's Bad Company. Gone, gone, gone.
Gone, gone, gone.
Off the Desolation Angels tune album, written by Boz Burrell, 1979. And here's the thing: I had heard this song, like I said, just the other day. there's nothing about this song that makes it stand out. There's no great, spectacular guitar solo.
Oh, sure.
There's no big build-up.
Outstanding
No
hook.
outstanding single feature.
Right.
But it's just so very well done. And, of course, it's Paul Rodgers, whose voice is amazing, right? But it's like, because I sat and I listened to it, and then I found it and listened to it again. I'm like, why did that sound so good? And there's nothing, there's no single outstanding part. It's just
put together.
Put together well,
Right,
man.
right.
You know, it flows, and his voice just really works.
I was gonna say, now that it's.
I think maybe when I say that there's no
head,
outstanding part, his voice is the outstanding part.
Right.
But it's a great tune by Badco, but it doesn't have like any of those standard Badco hooks.
Right. It's not a big top of my and part of the reason it didn't come to mind. But now that I'm hearing it in my head, I'm like, yeah, it is. It's a solid, great song.
It's a real solid tune, yeah.
And I'm hearing a lot of what I'm hearing is his vocal delivery.
Absolutely.
Keeping it together, yeah. That whole. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, thanks for that. And thanks for getting that added to the playlist so people can enjoy it too. If you didn't know and if it didn't pop into your head what that song is, you'll be able to listen to the playlist and you'll know from here forward. Forever and ever, amen. Okay, I got to pick here. Okay, how about... All mine are really the remainders that I have are really obvious. The ones I have collected for this, and I guess I knew it one by one as I was putting them together, but I didn't think about them collectively. They're all laydowns. So I'm just going to give you.
I'm not as smart as I look. So.
I'm just going to give you Busted Flat.
In Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Waiting for a train.
That's so easy. I mean,
that's the Chris Christopherson song, right?
It is a Chris Christopherson song. It's that example does exemplify one of the most exciting aspects of this challenge to me. 2 words. And how many people do you know who wouldn't guess that song? Certainly in our age group and most of our listenership, the 10 or 12 people.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
from
and
those
my
2
youngest
words.
is 30-ish.
Yeah.
She'd know this song.
Right.
You know?
Just
from
from
those 2 words.
Just from those 2 words. Like the starting words of the song and the whole thing just washes into your brain. I love the fact that you can do that.
All right.
1 word, 2 words. That is Me and Bobby McGee, sang by Janis Joplin, written by Chris Christopherson with Fred Foster in 1971 on the album Pearl. And I'll move on from there. What do you got?
And I mentioned specifically that it's a Chris Christopherson tune because his version needs to be on the playlist. You should listen to both. You should listen to both.
I'm
going to deliver this one visually this time because you may not. They're not.
I may stumble over it as I have.
They're not as.
I don't think I would.
It's not as ubiquitous as a tune as I might have liked.
I don't think I would have got that Bad Company tune if it had been text, but I would wish there was a way to unobserve the experiment. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. All right. So there's your. You should know this opening line.
Okay, and the line I was just given is 9 miles of 2-strand topped with barbed wire.
And I'm going to go ahead and drop the second line.
That's not hitting me. Laid by the father for the son. 9 miles of 2-strand topped with barbed wire. Laid by the father for the son. Somebody's in prison. I got nothing.
All right. So the purpose of starting lines is not necessarily that it's easy.
Right.
No, it's not
right.
a quick hits.
It doesn't need to be a lay down.
All right, but that it's the opening lines of the song.
Right.
Right.
Right. Am I going to know this?
You're going to know this.
Oh, for God's sake!
Yeah. You probably won't go, oh my God, I should have known that, but you'll know it.
Well, no.
This is Jethro Tull.
Oh.
Farm on the Freeway.
Yeah, I know that song.
Yeah, you know the whole album.
I mean, I've heard that song. Yeah.
Yeah. So Crest of a Knave was the album. Ian Anderson, of course, wrote that. That was 1987.
Now I'm hearing the song.
Now here's the thing. The main reason that I wanted to share this one is because I got a little knowledges for you. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So 1987.
He went down a path. He went down a wiki hole.
I did. Well, I actually knew some of it, but then I found more.
Right.
It was written in 1987, but it was released in 88, and in 1989.
You're talking about the album Crest of a Knave.
The album Crest of a Knave.
Right.
In 1989, Crest of a Knave won a Grammy.
Really?
for best hard rock metal performance or vocal by a band, by an instrumental by a band. Hold on, best hard rock metal performance, vocal or instrumental, and they beat Metallica.
No shitsky.
And it was a big deal. There was a whole, like, they actually changed the categories of the Grammys because I love Jethro Tull.
Preceding this or
Following
after
this,
this?
because
After
of
this,
this.
they changed the categories.
I love Jethro Tull in all of their various
but putting
iterations.
them in a heavy metal
but putting them in,
category is...
yeah, they've got an album called Heavy Horses,
Sure.
but they're not heavy metal.
Right.
Okay, so I'm
Is
actually.
there a heavy metal band in history, a true heavy metal band that has a flute in it?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. But I'm going to read now. I'm reading from the Wikipedia page, okay? So they beat out the heavily favored and Justice for All by Metallica.
Yeah, wow.
And the Critics' Choice, Nothing Shocking by Jane's Addiction. Both were nominated.
Yeah.
Okay? Grammy Award was controversial as many did not consider the album or Jethro Tull to be hard rock, much less heavy metal. Under advisement from their manager, no one from the band turned up to the awards ceremony as they were told that they had no chance of winning. In response
This
to the
is
controversy,
a great story.
the band's record label Chrysalis took out an advert in a British musical periodical with the line, "The flute is a heavy metal instrument."
I was just going to say, but the flute could be a heavy metal instrument.
Okay, so
I mean, when the flute is in the hands of Ian Anderson and you go back and listen to
oh yeah,
several of his solos, and if you know Tull
yeah.
very well
he
at all,
abuses the instrument.
he just beats the crap out of the flute, and you can hear his solos in your head, like they're embedded.
and it's definitely when I would say he's not heavy. They're not heavy metal. I don't think that. But like
No.
when he's playing the flute, it's hard rock.
It's at least hard rock. I think they qualify as hard rock.
I don't think they do, and I like the band. So at any rate, the Grammy Award was split into two separate categories and renamed after that event. Rolling Stone listed the Grammy Awards as that Grammy Award as the 18th most awesomely retro moment in Grammy history. In 1992, a couple years later, Metallica won the Grammy for Best
Everything.
Heavy Metal Album, because
Yeah.
now it's a category, right? For their 1991 album, self-titled album, known as the Black Album, right? During the band's acceptance speech, drummer Lars Ulrich said, "We would personally like to thank Jethro Tull for not releasing an album this year." However, Jethro Tull had released an album. Catfish Rising came out in that year.
Yeah.
But I just that whole little story to me,
That's just
and
great.
I didn't know all of the intricacies of that.
Yeah.
But I do like I don't watch award shows anymore, but
Right.
I watched
What,
that
that-
one, and
that,
I was like, how the did Jethro Tull just win heavy metal? Especially when the other stuff was on the board.
Right, Jane's
know?
Addiction and Metallica.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
yeah, that seems like a reach.
that's that guys.
It would be
there.
equally as interesting to know the story of the decision-making process in the background in that instance, how they came to what group of people and how, their sort of individual decision-making processes and how they collectively
Yeah,
came
and I
to
don't know.
the...
It's possible that Tull hadn't won any Grammys prior to that, and that album came out like after a lull for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, it's 1991. Do you think like anybody in the industry, finger quotes,
Right.
was really getting behind Jane's Addiction or Metallica? You know what I'm saying?
Right. At the
That-
moment.
That's my thinking of why it happened.
Yeah.
Because that's so much of that crap is a popularity contest, and it's nothing to do with
I know.
content.
And
Right?
you have to. It's hard not to think that in the background it's people making decisions on different bases than
How they're going to sell shit.
is the music. Exactly.
All right, so that's the end of starting lines. We have, as usual, run long
Yeah.
and gone over our
We
allotted
have.
time. We were
Brother, have we?
going to be quick, so we'll just edit out all of Reed's talking
All-
for this episode. And
And it'll seem like just about the same thing. Just about the same thing.
so, thank you for listening.
Thank you for tuning in. Come back and tune in again. Send us your comments. Subscribe. Blah blah blah.
Oh, we did actually do much better this time than last time.
With-
Our last episode that we released,
Yeah.
there was a lot of, I don't know, in that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you mean as far as sort of guessing the clues and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. There was,
I agree.
it was probably our worst episode.
I didn't feel like a complete dumbass this episode.
Right,
so,
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
hey, everybody, go out there and be good people and be nice to other people and do good stuff. And check out our website and some of the charities that we have links to and that we are, supporting by
Yes.
having their links on the page.
Oh, and I've supported several of them myself.
Yeah, and if
financially.
you have a charity you think would be good for us to support, send it along, pass it along to us, and we'll give it some consideration and what have you. And if you have your input on things we have screwed up during this episode, or
Just in
things you
general.
like about the episode, or in general, send it along. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear from
there's a
somebody.
comment section on the page, and most of the podcast apps have the ability to comment as well.
And lastly, check out our playlists. We got some playlists.
Yeah, and this one's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Peace.
We're out.